Hello and welcome to the first episode of Bronc Baseball Talk. My name is Shawn Johnson and today I'm joined by Quentin Milliken. Quentin, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now on today's show, we're going to be talking about the Rider baseball team and what we can expect from them this season. We're also going to be going over their schedule and where we can expect Rider to win, where they might struggle. We'll go over that really quickly. Now, Quentin, you want to start us off there?
Yeah, so the Broncs are starting their 17th season under head coach Barry Davis, who holds a career record of 933 and 620. They're coming off a shortened 2020 season. They finished 6-8. It looks like they've had three new freshmen added to the lineup this year, and Brian Scatini, McCormick Buckner, and also Ben Waxler. It looks like they also got two new transfers in Jordan Irby and Cal Stalzer. Like I mentioned before, they had a shortened season. They finished 6-8 last year. They didn't play any conference games. In 2019, they had a 17-36 overall record, coming in with 8 conference wins, 16 conference losses. The Broncs brought home the MAC championship in 2008 and 2010, and they also won the conference back in 2013 and 2015. Last season, the Broncs outscored their opponents 90-68 within their 14 games, and it looks like their pitching will be a key to their success this season.
Yes, and to highlight one pitcher that I think will, really be successful in this next upcoming season is grad student Pete Soperowski. He's had 2 back-to-back pretty good seasons with a 2.64 ERA in 2019, and then in 2020, he had a 2.13 ERA. So definitely looking forward to him in this next upcoming season.
Yeah, I agree. I also, Frank Doelling, he caught my eye. He coming off of 2 wins last season in his 4 games. He pitched for 21.1 innings, clocking in a 2.53 ERA. Aside from the pitching, who else on the Broncs have caught your eye, Sean?
So somebody that was really productive from the batting side of things was the senior Sebastian Williamson. He didn't really have the best year in 2020, but in 2019, he was hitting lights out. He was batting 300 and he was slugging 393. So definitely looking forward for him in this next upcoming season, along with Scott Shaw, the sophomore. In the 2020 shortened season, I mean, he, again, another guy that was batting lights out. He was batting 368 from the plate and also slugging 421. So definitely looking forward to those guys there, Quentin.
Yeah, I saw Kyle Johnson. He caught my eye in the field. He has a .928 fielding percentage. He also had 8 double plays and 36 assists in his career. He's pretty good on the offensive side. He led the team in games started and played. He had 14 hits, 8 walks, and 3 stolen bases last season, batting a .264 average in his career. He has 5 home runs and 70 RBIs, so he's strong on both sides of the ball. Also, Jake Barbier, he led the team in 2020 with 13 runs scored. He also played in the 14 games that the Broncs had last year. He has 16 career RBIs, and he's batting at .208 career batting average.
All right, now that we've talked about some of the players that we could really look forward to, whether it's pitching, batting, or in the field even, let's talk about what we can expect from Riders' schedule this season.
Yeah, to break down their schedule, it looks like they're playing 40 conference games. They'll be playing 10 4-game series. They open with 8 home games, beginning on March 20th against Marist, and following that up against Quinnipiac on March 27th.
All right, so let's talk about that Marist matchup a little bit. I believe that the series is split 17-17, although Marist within the last few years have been dominating the matchup between Rider. They are 3-7 in the last 10 matchups. And Rider actually lost the last matchup in 2019, 3-1, because there were no conference games in the 2020 shortened season. And now talking about Quinnipiac, who they'll be playing next on their schedule on March 27th, they're also split in that series 7-7. So again, they're kind of struggling as of late against some of their in-conference rivals. So against Quinnipiac, although they're split, like I mentioned, they're 3-7 in the last 10. So that last matchup that they actually lost was in 2019, a devastating 15-4.
It looks like the Bronx have their work cut out ahead of them. After these 12 games, they hit the road against Manhattan, Monmouth, and Fairfield.
Yes, and definitely three tough teams. Manhattan actually leading the series against Ryder, 19-17. But Ryder, they're able to hold their weight a little bit in away games against these Jaspers. They're 7-7 in away games, and they actually took the last matchup that they went against them 5-3. Now, kind of talking about Monmouth here, Monmouth is another team in the conference that leads the series against Ryder. So again, Ryder not really having the advantage against any of these teams, at least in the all-time series. And now to kind of talk about the last team in this next three teams that they'll play in the schedule was Fairfield. And they're another team that they're pretty locked at in the all-time series, 15-15 all-time against Fairfield. And they actually have a 7-8 away record against the Stags. So definitely looking forward to some of those away games.
Yeah, after this 12-game stretch, the Bronx return home against Iona. It looks like they lead this series 22-11, winning 11 of the last home games against the Gales. They also were 4-6 in the last 10, and they lost the last matchup 11-4. So things look good, but they definitely have their work cut out.
And then moving on in the schedule, another very tough matchup for the Bronx. They hit the road and they're going to face Canisius, who are leading the series against our Bronx 25-14. They actually took the last game back in 2018, 5-2. Canisius won that one. And Riders 2-8 in the last 10. And they actually hold a 3-12 record against the Griffins. So definitely, going back to the all-time series, they're struggling there. They're going to look to, build off of that and do well against Canisius in this upcoming 2021 season.
Yeah, I hope they turn that series around, especially in the last 10. After they play Canisius, they return home again for another 8-game home stretch. They'll be facing St. Peter's and also Niagara.
And Ryder actually leads the series 24-8 with a 13-2 home record, winning the last 8 of 10.
Yeah, and they also hold a 21-12 series record over Niagara, and they've also won 14 of the last 21 at home against the Purple Eagles.
Yep, and then after they go and face Niagara, they will round off their regular season against Siena. Again, another tough team for the Bronx.
Yeah, it looks like Ryder is 1-9 in the last 10 games against Siena. They hold a 6-6 away record against the Saints. So the Bronx definitely have a tough end of the season, and then hopefully they qualify for the MAC championships that begin on May 27th.
Yes, as you mentioned, they have 2 MAC championships within the last couple years, so it would be nice if they can add another one to that.
I would love to see a MAC championship brought back to Lawrenceville.
All right, Quentin, thank you for your time. That's going to be it for this episode of Bronc Baseball Talk. Make sure to follow our Instagram at Bronc Baseball Talk and our Twitter at Bronc Talk. Those links can be found in our description. Thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you all next time.